Andre, 7-1. Do you think this is a good team right now? Do you think this is a really good team?
We're okay. We're work in progress. We've kind of had a more favorable schedule, so I don't think you look too much into it. We're doing what we're supposed to do. That says a lot. There's a lot of talent in this league, and you've seen some pretty interesting comebacks. I think it was a big one tonight, the Milwaukee-New York game, and there is something to taking care of games you're supposed to take care of. So we got to finish out the home stretch and continue to have the right mindset in terms of not looking at our record, but looking at how we're playing and how we're improving through each game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we have a lot of depth, which is it's been good for us. We can switch up the lineups, and you see GP's been playing really well tonight and the previous game with pressuring the ball and just bringing that energy. And teams are scheming who to put the 5-man on and use him, and he's done a really good job knowing where to be and not being used to playing that center position. And then we're doing a great job of balancing off Belly in terms of him picking and popping and still getting the guy diving in the right space to keep the floor balanced. And the interesting thing about tonight is that we missed a lot of open threes, and we were still able to shoot a high clip, 40%. So those are positives. Otto's been really good for us, and he's shooting the ball really well in practice, not missing. And D. Lee has been really, really good for us. The games we need him to make big baskets, he's been able to do that. In the game we lost, he really kept us in it. So we just got a lot of guys that could do some different things. And then Juan has, hasn't played as much as he would like, but he can be a difference maker off the bench as well. I'm just here having fun, and I really don't have nothing to lose. And I just, I enjoy being around the guys. I enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy playing for Steve and just everyone in the organization. So, everything, it's like Tiger's quote, everything from here is gravy. So I enjoy playing, still working really harder than probably I should be. But I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it, and that's something I'm trying to do all year. Make sure I'm helping the young guys get better. The crazy thing is, we still got 2 starters who are, starting to get comfortable with looking at a date to return. So, we got a chance to do something special and just trying to make the most out of every day and make sure that, guys are locked in mentally with, the grueling schedule and how it can, it's like a trap. 7-1 can be a trap, and we just got to stay locked in.
There have been some comparisons to the strength in numbers era of this organization. Does the depth have any resemblance of that?
The depth does, but we'll see it more when Wise and Clay come back. And obviously everyone wants to know, will Clay be himself when he comes back? And we're going to give him, all the time in the world and opportunities in the world to, get comfortable and be himself. And Wise is so young, but he's so raw, and he wants to be great. So, that takes 2 guys out of the start lineup and just puts them with the second unit, which gives us even more depth. So we, like I said, it's a mental thing. We're having that much depth, just making sure guys are really locked in and valuing the winning as opposed to the individual side of, how many minutes they're getting, because we have too much depth.
You're a guy who, in that 2014-15 season, did make a sacrifice by going to the bench, and presumably Jordan Poole is going to have to make that sacrifice when Klay Thompson is back and gets his legs back underneath him. So what type of mentality does it take to put the personal aside and just be all in?
Well, it's changed, and he was born at the right time, and then the TV money soon, the gambling money soon. So regardless if he comes off the bench or if he starts, he's going to make a lot of money. So it's up to me to make sure that the second unit is going to be his, and he's going to have even more freedom coming off the bench as opposed to starting. And it might take some time to adjust to that, but that's the new age NBA. Like, you can make a ton of money coming off the bench, and you can be even more comfortable coming off the bench. I think I would joke after the first year when I would have to start because of injury, I would say I don't want to start. You know, I would joke with Steve, start somebody else. So he'll learn that you know, he's going to have a lot more possessions, a lot more opportunities, and we got to get him to the foul line. I think that's the next phase for him, and not relying on having, you know, 26 with 0 free throws. I think he had 31 last game with 0 free throws. He likes those Clay stat lines. Yeah, no rebounds, and he had an assist. But yeah.
Andre, you were watching Wiseman from afar last season, and now you've got to see him in practice, get to be around him. You've talked about like what is the limit for him? What is his career going to look like? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how the NBA is kind of went away from guys with his skill set in terms of he can be a dominant figure inside. I mean, Giannis is dominant, but Giannis is, you know, he's just his ball handling skills and the way he attacks is essentially he's like a guard. But with Wise, he can change the game. You know, I said it always just takes one guy to bring back the mid range in terms of they got a double team. You know, defense has to shift, and you have to pull over to him so much that the mid range is going to be open, the elbow is going to be open, and those are going to start being a point of attack once you have a dominant big. So, but he still can run the floor well. He can actually handle it really well. The way the game's been played at that age group now, though, they've gone away from a feel or a skill set. So it's, you know, about, you know, you see a lot of highlights. It's a guy getting the rebound and going coast to coast doing their thing. You don't really see too many guys doing backdoor passes or, you know, setting screens, high lows, the small nuances of the game that you had in the, you know, before the era of, you know, Steph changing the game. So I think it comes back, but, you know, he has to understand that making players around him better will make his job and make his life a whole lot easier, and will actually help him have better stats by just being able to make the guys around him better. I'm not really, you know, just, you know, I've seen a lot, play for a lot of different coaches, and then I've been in a lot of different environments, and you kind of get a feel for, you know, just take a look around the league, you know, see how teams are set up, see how they're playing, see how the game's being played, and you can kind of size yourself up with other teams. And we, you know, like I said, we got two starters that are out, so, you know, we got an opportunity to do something special, but we got to continue to try to get better every single day, you know, and find our weaknesses before other teams do. You know, that's the one thing I'm always harping on is like, all right, what is our Achilles heel? And then how do we turn that into a strength? And we've been able to do that in the years we've had success. So I think we can get back to that this year and, you know, playing with 13, 14 guys that can really impact the game. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. He's going to, I'm looking forward to him getting out the mistakes in the G League games. And, you know, I think it's being used the right way. You know, early on, it was trying to figure out how to use the G League, where Moses just went down, and I talked to Moses. I think he shot 16 shots his first game, and I'd say, good, you know, get your misses out the way in the G League games, and get a, you know, try tight passes. You know, it's like talking to my son. It's crazy. You know, I tell my son the same exact thing. Using practice and using those practice games in the G League as a way to figure out what you do well, figure out what you need to work on. And then when you come up here, it's you're playing a little more tighter. You know, you really can't make the same mistakes. You can't have a turnover or two. You got to play clean basketball, but you can use the G League to, you know, get you comfortable with, you know, taking 2 shots up here and still being efficient. So with him, he just got to stay in the gym and literally, you know, morning early practice, then come back at night, and then play G League games, come back, play a game here. He just got to just be enwrapped in basketball, you know, for his first 5 or 6 years. And, you know, if he does that, he has opportunity to be special.